We are scheduled to start right at noon. I will probably give it another minute and start right on time at 12:01. I want to be respectful of all your time. And if you're joining on your lunch break, give you time to be able to eat and take that break if you need it. But otherwise, if you have any questions that you may have come into this session hoping to learn, I'm definitely going to be giving a full overview. But I am happy to make sure to incorporate your question as I go through the system, if there's one that you want to put in the chat. Good morning, welcome. Thank you for joining. Welcome. Good morning. Good morning. Or actually, I can officially say good afternoon. All right. Well, it is officially 12:01. I am going to begin and others may come in and they're welcome. You're welcome to ask questions at any time. I do have the chat up and I will be monitoring that. You're also welcome to come off mute if you would like. I am recording this session, so if somebody does come in late, then they're welcome to watch it from the beginning. And I will first introduce myself. My name is Ashley Donnelly. I am the Senior Manager of Logistics and Facilities here at Catapult. I've been with Catapult 11 years in September, so definitely been in the learning space for a long time and something I'm passionate about, and I hope you can see that with this new product that we're offering today. I am going to share my screen and go through our e-learning pass. So we this year started to offer two passes, a class pass and an e-learning pass. And both of those are new options. Share, let's just see here. Okay. Here we go. Everybody can hopefully see my screen. Maybe if somebody wants to give me just a thumbs up, I can make sure everything's coming through okay. You can see my screen. No? Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Okay. We'll get back here. Okay. So we have started offering our two passes. So a class pass, which includes the e-learning portal, and then an e-learning pass, which is just the portal. The class pass also includes all of our public training. That's our instructor-led training that's offered virtually, in person, or at your location. The at your location is kind of that special piece, but that's all of our instructor led. And then it also includes that e-learning pass and conferences. So our class pass and then our e-learning pass. And our e-learning pass is partnered with Skillsoft by Percipio. So it's a separate site that you get access to with thousands of courses. This is the home screen as far as I am already logged in. It is linked with your account. So when you purchase the e-learning pass, your login information would be the same as it would be if you went to our learning center to register for a class, or the member hub to find any of those templates, or chat in the community, post questions, get those additional resources. So your login would be the same in either location as it would be in Percipio. So that is one thing that you wouldn't have to worry about as far as another login. The Percipio site, I always kind of say it's almost like a LinkedIn Learning, where it's all encompassing classes from technology, um, new manager, maybe HR, compliance courses. It's covering everything. And it gives you learning paths that you can start to go down. So when you first log in, you would be asked to pick a role. So what is your role? I have selected HR manager. You can also select an aspiring role. This is set from when I was doing a demo with a customer who had this role set as their aspiring role. But you can either just keep your current role and add an aspirational role, or just have your one role. The reason why this is important or plays a part in the system is because it will start to design those learning paths for you. So you don't have to come in here and say, well, where do I start with thousands of courses? They want to make it as easy as possible for you with AI and with a system that's already built. They want to go ahead and give you those breadcrumbs that you can follow. So when you first log in, you've already selected your role. You've already selected your skill interests too. So your skill interests would be anything in regards to their library. So they might ask you, are you interested in AI? Are you interested in customer service or management? And you would select those topics too. And then it, again, just giving you more options in regards to your personal interests. So here on the home screen, I can see, my role, recent learning that I've done. They do have some live learning flashcards from the courses that I've already taken. So maybe in this case, I've already taken a course on virtual teams, and I can access those flashcards if I just want to remind myself of some of the learning objectives in that course. Skill benchmarks I'll go into further, and then the playlist and goals. The goal is you can set your own goal as far as how much learning you want to do on a weekly basis. And then it kind of prompts you as far as like, don't forget you wanted to meet this goal, you've accomplished X amount of time, and you still have this left to do. So this is all just right here for easy access, but as you scroll down, it starts to create that those journeys or those paths for you that I mentioned. So here I have my role, human resource manager. I have some courses that it's providing me based on my searches and the roles. I can start to do these benchmarks. And what the benchmarks are is a way to figure out what your proficiency is in a certain topic, and then start to build off of that. So any skill gaps that you may have. So for instance, in customer service, if I had an employee and they had access to the system and I wanted them to really focus on building those skills, I might have them start with the customer service essentials. They would take the benchmark. It's 10 questions, takes about 17 minutes. And based on those responses, you would then be given a score. And from that score, you would have an entire list of courses that would help you fill those skill gaps and move to the next level. You can't take the benchmark as soon as immediately. You have to wait 30 days before you can take it again. The goal being there, you get a benchmark score, you take training, you build, and then you take that benchmark again, so you can see your growth. So those are really helpful as far as just seeing you progress in that skill. As I continue to go down on the home screen, I can then see my skill interests. So these are those skills that I had picked when I first logged in, as far as AI, business communication, business intelligence, strategy, all things that I had picked, and I can edit those skills at any time. But it's just, again, a list of courses that the system thinks that may be of interest to me. And then additional recommendations based on the courses I've searched. So if I start up at the top, I can always just do a search. Maybe leadership, for instance, is always an easy one I like to show and search for. As far as here, I then get the filtering section. So a journey would be a curated path, curated courses all together that would give you a whole list to start with. So let me just see here. Here's one for AI, generative AI business transformation. So this is a journey. Once I complete this journey, I would get a badge and a certificate. It is 16 courses, 7 hours to complete everything. And as I complete each of the different groupings or topics, I also would earn a badge. So within foundations, there's 2 courses, and that's about 45, a little more than 45 minutes, and so on and so forth. I would need to complete all of this to complete the whole journey. And that's what those kind of journeys or skill paths are referring to. So I can also, down at the bottom, if I have a duration, maybe I want to find just a course that is 5 minutes. I only have a few minutes to go ahead and do take this. I have a list of options here. So you can always filter by duration. They give you lots of different options. And then anybody who's looking for recertification credits, here is a great way to maintain those annually. So here I can see for just the topic leadership, I have CPE credits, 155 options, HRCI 35, and then project management 113. And each one of our courses, it will give you what the credentials are or what you need to do to be able to get that, to meet the prereq, or here we go, to be able to obtain those credits, sorry. So for instance, to get the CPE credits for if you're in accounting, those NASBA credits would be complete every video, get a score of 70, and complete the course within a year of starting it. So as long as I meet all of these credentials when I take the course, I would then, under my certificate, under my learning, I would go over to my certificate once I've received it, and I can download immediately the credits. So HRCI, I download that. This course doesn't have the project management, but it does have CPE credits. So I would immediately have those. And here is my credits for that recertification. So very easy. Here's that ID. I can put that right into the system and I don't have to go looking for it anywhere or wait to receive that information. I can get it immediately or come back and get it in my system if I don't put it in at the time when I've completed it. So lots of options as far as recertification, being able to search, filter. You also have the library that I mentioned. So if you just wanted to go into a certain area, maybe management, for instance, team management, I could start there. It's going to start with channels and journeys as far as those curated lists. And then I can go ahead and filter again by some of the things that I might be of interest to me. to narrow the scope down more. We also have a certification center. So within the e-learning system, the Percipio, you can prep for a variety of different certifications. The entire list is here, but within each of these lists, there's a list of certifications. So for instance, Microsoft Office, there's 4 certifications that this system will help you prep for. Project management is one of my favorite ones to use an example because most are familiar with project management and that PMI certification. So I can start to prep for either my certified associate or the full PMP certification. If I start on the beginner level, the system is going to give you everything you need to prep for that exam. So 26 courses, 25 hours, and then additional, once I'm done with all the courses, I go into the next level 2, 3, and 4 to prepare. Now, anything in this system is not going to be an additional fee. That's also the really nice thing. You can search anything you want in here, take every class, take 350 classes. You're not going to receive an invoice or hit a button that says, oh, you now have to pay for that. Everything in here is included with your one fee and you get access to it for 1 year. The only place is if you do one of these certifications and then you've completed everything and you say, okay, I'm ready to take the certification, they do make it easy that you can just click here as far as learn more. And it's going to bring you to the website for Project Management Institute to help you with applying for your exam and then taking that fee. But all of that is through Project Management Institute and not through the training site. So that would be the only place that, but you're again on a different site. So it almost doesn't, not apples to apples in a way, but I just like to show that as far as you don't have to worry about clicking on anything and being charged because everything in here is included in your one-time fee. In addition to the, I showed a little bit of the course player. I'll pull one of those up too, just so you can see. This is one that I've already completed. I want it to stop. You can pick the different, you can put closed captioning. And when you use closed captioning, you can choose a different language if you have maybe English is not your first language. You can also, down at the bottom, like I said, get an overview of what the course is, what the objectives are going to be, provided you have any questions and questions, you can ask the system through AI and it's going to give you an answer. You can take notes. So if you had any notes that you wanted to go through, you can do it right here in the system and then it will save it with your class so that you can go back if you wanted to take any notes as you're going through the course. You can always review the transcript and then additional resources. So in this case, it gives you the flashcards and a glossary of as far as leading in a hybrid workspace, it had titles that I might need to know the definition of. And then over here on the right, it gives me what I might want to go to next. So I've completed this course. I might be interested in managing a hybrid team successfully or leading in a hybrid workplace. So again, just leading you to that next course. So you're not wondering, well, I did that. Now what do I do? From there, I can view my badge. I can share this badge with LinkedIn. Actually, that's probably going to bring me to LinkedIn, but this is, I can share it, save it, put it in my files. And then of course I received that certificate under my training and I can go here at any time to see what my achievements have been. So that's what the course player looks like. Does anybody have any questions so far as just how the system works? Now, one of the options that you can also do, like I said, this is included in our ClassPass or a standalone in the e-learning pass. Once you register, you would receive an email that gives you the URL and then also allows you to go ahead and log in. Again, utilizing your same credentials that you would for the Learning Center or the hub. So to register for a class. Once you log in here, you're going to be able to make it your own. We also sell this as a for companies to utilize. So you would have your own domain, you would upload your own employees, and then create each of the screens so that they are your colors, have your logo, and really make it your own. In a situation like that, you would be able to run analytics, reports, add additional content. You would be able to make content required. So let's say I want each employee to take a coaching course or a feedback course, or maybe I change it each month or each quarter. I can come to the content, find the course that I want to make required, and then I would push it out to each of the folks on the team, and it would show right here as soon as they logged in. If it wasn't required, maybe just a, hey, take a look at this. It's, technology month, then it wouldn't have a required date. Otherwise, if it did have a required time frame, it would show must be completed by this date. And you could even put a message in there, like at Catapult, this month it is technology month, and we want to really showcase what that looks like. And we're asking each of you to complete this. I can put that little personalized message in there too, so that they read it as soon as they log in. In addition to making, required training or adding in any additional resources that you may have, maybe you have some on-the-job training that you want to include in the system, you absolutely can. You can include that and upload it. You can also manage your users by groups. So let's say you have 30 people, 100 people, whatever the number may be, and you want a customer service group, maybe a financial group, and an IT group. You would put each of those users in, it's what's called an audience, but a group nonetheless. And you could assign specific content to each of those groups. You could also have a manager for each of those groups, so it doesn't fall on just one person, that together as a team, they're all working within the system to really utilize it to the fullest. So that is really the kind of the details as far as the courses go. Again, just to, when you're looking at our catalog, and how I got here is, I just came over to letscatapult.org, went over to the Learning Center login, and I'm logged in and at our catalog. Here you can see the ClassPass and then the e-learning pass. It's non-transferable, a one-time fee for access to the system for 1 year. We do have the ClassPass included in our 2 membership tiers, Elite and Premium. So if you're currently a standard member and you're coming up on your renewal, or you know that you would like to upgrade early, you're always those are always options available to you. And with our Elite membership and our Premium membership, you would have access to 1 ClassPass included in your membership. And that would be assigned to 1 person, again, and they would be able to take as much training as they would like, go to the conferences, and utilize that e-learning site with Percipio for a full year. Let's see here. One of the questions that I get often is those who have the e-learning pass or the ClassPass, on our website, we do have e-learning courses, and these are our single e-learning courses. That's what this online type is. Those are our e-learning on-demand courses. And so if you are somebody who has maybe ClassPass or the e-learning pass, if you're looking for e-learning courses, you want to go into your e-learning site in Percipio, log in and search here. Are those classes on the catalog? These are really for somebody who just has one employee. You want to register them for accounting basics and be done with it. For those one-offs. Those courses can all be found in our Percipio site. So you don't need to register through the website to access them. You would just go into your e-learning site and get to the course that way versus registering. This is really for an employee who you want to just take a on-demand course one time and then maybe do a different training and that's it. So I just wanted to kind of share that is one area that we get a lot of questions and there is some confusion. They go to pick one of these e-learning programs and it has a fee associated with it. Again, that's just because you need to really come here as far as finding a course that you're looking for, you know, new manager or if you had questions on FMLA, you're going to find that in here versus looking on our catalog. Again, unless you have one employee who you want them to take an on-demand course, just that one, and not have access to an entire portfolio. Those are kind of the two differences. All right. So I'm going to open it up if anybody has any questions. The e-learning pass, we have a web page here. If there's any additional questions that maybe I haven't covered, I'll put it in the chat in case anybody wants to access it. I can also put from the catalog our pass here, so you can easily find it too. Is there a limit for how many users you can make a profile for? I might ask a couple questions about that. So if you're referring to make a profile for as far as register for the e-learning pass so that they have access, I mean, you can register as many as you'd like. The only thing I would say is that when you get to a certain amount, you may want to ask, like if you had a bigger team, I would find out about that kind of that your own company domain for cost savings purposes, or that volume discount, because there is, if you have so many people, a price break. But otherwise, you can register as many as you'd like. Now, if you're asking in regards to creating an account on Catapult, just as far as to register for any class, you can, again, any employees who need access to the catalog or the learning center, they can be added and connected with your company, and there's no limit. I don't know, hopefully that answered that question, but if not, please let me know for sure. Oh, using the ClassPass. Yeah, so that's only for both the e-learning pass and the ClassPass, that it's per person. So the ClassPass, if it was assigned to me, so for instance, let's just say you either purchased it or received it with your membership. So you're a premium member and you have it included in your membership and you say, I want to assign it to Ashley Donnelly, then it's only assigned to me for the year. And again, non-transferable. And I would be the person who would be utilizing as many courses as possible. if you wanted to add another employee, you would buy them a class pass in addition to the employee who either it was purchased for or included in membership for. So it's not a one pass for many. It's one-to-one as far as assigned to one person to take as many classes as they would like. All right. We have about a minute left. The price is per person. The only time a whole organization would come into play. So on the website, as far as the pricing, class pass right here, it is $9.99 for a member and $11.99 for a non-member. I mean, that member price, especially if you're a person who goes to both of our conferences, it's already paid for itself in 2 conferences. And that's not even including everything you get for the e-learning portal and those recertification credits, if you are somebody who needs those. So that price is per person, unless you were to say, I am interested in purchasing the e-learning portal for 30 people, what would the pricing be? Again, you would have a little bit of a different price. Or if you wanted to look at ClassPass for an entire department or group, we would definitely be happy to talk with you about any sort of kind of bulk discount. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate everybody's time today. I'm happy to stay on and answer any additional questions. But this is, at this point, kind of the site and what we're hoping to share with you today. So again, I thank you all for your time, and I'm going to stay on for another couple minutes for anybody who has additional questions. I'll also put my contact information in the chat. Feel free to reach out to me after, and I can, if you have any of those groups that you want to talk about, or if you want to see the site in a different way, or talk about how it could be used at your company, happy to do that. So feel free to reach out. All right. Well, thank you all again.